Hello and welcome to Let's Chill, the official, unofficial Minnesota Strike and Minnesota Ultimate podcast. I'm Jeff,
I'm Jay.
and with us today we are joined by the one and only Danielle Byers. Danielle, how's it going?
Good. How are you both?
Good, doing good. Excited to have you on tonight. This is an exciting interview for us, and we can't wait to talk Ultimate with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's my first podcast, so
Awesome. Hopefully first of many. Um, okay, so what we usually do on this podcast is kick it off with like we call it a stall 10 trivia question. So pretty straightforward, just a little fun trivia question. Um, so I'm gonna give my stall 10 question to Jay. This one's about Danielle, so we don't want to make it too easy for her. Jay, what is Danielle's ultimate nickname?
I want to go with something like awesome, like the Beast, you know, like, but I
Nope,
don't know.
nope. Danielle, do you want to provide the answer?
well, I typically go by Byers, but I feel like you must be referencing Dani Buckets.
That's
There.
that's the one. Yep. It feels kind of obvious, but like where did you get the nickname, I guess? Like how did it come about?
Yeah, that's a really awesome story. It just I kind of had like a super breakout game for Dragon against Amp this year at Pro Champs, and the announcer like never met him before, just was like, that's Dani Buckets. She catching nothing but buckets, no assists, no throws, just catching it in the end zone. And then it just kind of the next day we were in the finals. They announced me as Dani Buckets again. It was in the Ulti-World write-up. And then my teammate Clayne just one day is like, send me a photo. I was like, okay. And next thing there was t-shirts made. So anyone needs a Dani Buckets t-shirt, go ahead and see Josh Clayne.
That is awesome. Yeah, we'll have to get some. I can't believe we don't have any yet. We should have been wearing them for the podcast tonight.
Seriously, we get a Danny Buckets team.
Yeah.
All right, all right, Danielle. I have a stall 10 for you. Um, how does Robin Fennig, your teammate, how does she feel about pineapple on pizza?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I want to say she's very like a very funny person, very kind of out there sometimes with like her style and stuff. So always down for a good time. So I want to say she likes it. I think she's a fan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty accurate. I think she said that she likes it with like some salty meat, like a meat on there as well.
Of
So like she
course.
like pineapple and ham, but
The question is, how do you feel about pineapple on pizza?
Oh, I just I have to be honest, I'm a very bland eater. So if I'm not eating just plain cheese, I only want mushroom on it. Like just keep it simple. Yeah, I don't like to taint it. I'm a purist for pizza, so
Yeah, I mean that's fair if it ain't broke, right? Like
yeah.
why risk it? Okay, so we just have a bunch of questions. We threw some questions on Instagram. We asked people to ask some questions too. So lots of great questions coming your way from some teammates, some fans. So first let's just start with an easy one. Like tell us about your ultimate experience. We know you play for Strike, you play for Dragon Thrust. Like just how'd you get into the game and like how where do you think you're going with your career right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started playing in college, back east at Westchester University in Pennsylvania. If you haven't heard of it, that's okay. Neither did Ulti-World the year we went to nationals. They literally wrote Westchester question mark going to nationals.
Oh my gosh.
So started at a small program, had some really awesome teammates there. That actually a bunch of them play on Surge now. So Liz Hart, Lindsay McKenna, Ralph all play on Surge. So luckily we didn't have to face them this season. But yeah, from there I played the Philly women's team. I played a local mixed team called Bang for a little bit, and then I my first like big club experience was Scandal. I got to play I put asterisk for 2 years. I got really hurt. So kind of not my most healthy seasons, but that's where I met Robin. So I got to play with her for a year. That was really, really fun. And then now being in Minnesota, I feel really fortunate to have such a local club scene here. I wouldn't, being from out east, I wasn't anticipating that there was going to be such a big community, especially leaving Philly. Like, to me, that's just like the ultimate frisbee community. Like, generations of people go and play. But it's great scene here. Love playing Dragon, and the fact that Strike is just a 15-minute drive to go to those practices versus what I was driving for Scandal. Though Philly has a team now, so of course I left right when they got one.
Yeah, seriously. They're doing really well this year too. I feel like that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it is absolutely amazing to see that group of women players just absolutely crush it, absolutely get the opportunity to go and play, because we always went to the Phoenix games like it was a Friday night football game, and so now
Yeah,
it's like great they could do that for the women's team. Like, that's awesome.
that is sweet. So how did you end up in Minnesota? I don't know if I know that story.
Oh yeah, I just met my partner and he played ultimate
Oh,
as well. And then I used to train athletes, and then of course COVID happened. I
mhm.
couldn't really do that anymore. And it was kind of that moment of, I'm not in college anymore. Like, I love Westchester, but maybe it's time to experience something else. And so ended up coming to Minnesota, and again found a really great ultimate community that helps make the move easy.
Yeah, awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you have a pretty cool ultimate career. What's your favorite moment, or not necessarily your favorite, but also like a big moment in your ultimate career?
Hmm. There's been a couple really big ones I've loved. I have to go back to college, I think. We were just really this kind of nobody team. We had a few, like, some really big uh athletes, but none of us really knew how to play ultimate. So it's just like, get it to Lindsay and I and huck it and just like try and get it deep. And so we were going against teams like Pitt and Ohio, like Fever. Like, these teams were like very well established at the time, always went to nationals. And we were just like this like brute squad of like people just hucking it and like having fun. And I just remember the game we went to nationals. I have my dad, luckily, he's a sports photographer, has so many photos. It's literally hanging on my wall. But I just skied the crap out of some girl who's way taller than me, had no business, and just had no idea that I had caught it. So I just like jumped up for the game winner that basically sent us to nationals. And she's just like, what happened? And I'm like, I got it. But
That's
like, just
awesome.
that moment, like the whole team was just like, it was like, you can't beat that feeling. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love like a kind of like a classic underdog story and then just to do it in such grand fashion? Like, yeah, that's awesome. So this is kind of a combination of an Instagram question and one that we had already had. What what do you do like to train during the season and in the off season, and like kind of what drives your success as an ultimate player?
Yeah, so I especially my background in dance, I've always had a really good like work ethic in terms of the main person I'm competing with is myself. So it's just like, I want to keep being better every day, which is to me very motivating, but also helps kind of put things in perspective. You can't always compare yourself to others, like, just do the best you can. And then with my background as well in fitness and stuff, I just love working out. So my training is my favorite part, I think. So like lifting, doing sprints, I do game point performance, highly recommend. Um, but yeah, the days where I don't want to get up and I don't want to do it, I just immediately visualize, what are my teammates doing, or especially what are my opponents doing? Are they sitting on the couch watching another episode of TV? Like, maybe if they are, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna like be better than them, and I'm gonna get up and go do my workout.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. So then like like day of a game, for example, is there anything in particular you do to like get pumped or to get yeah, into the mindset of the game?
Yeah, this is actually a funny question because Dragon captains just met. We're trying to like squeeze in a meeting. and they tried to do it at 10 a.m. Our games, we have to be there at 12. And I was like, I don't mean to sound soft, but like, I can't go because I need to like do my hair. I need to eat. I need to like get ready. So my routine, especially if it's like afternoon game, is I like to wake up, have my morning coffee, start hydrating, and then do my hair, get ready, feel good, and then I watch Ultimate and then I play Smash. So like right before I like get ready to head out the door, like I'm ready in my clothes, I've got like 20 minutes to kill, I just start like playing some Super Smash.
And now we got to know who's your main.
Yeah, who
Oh,
do you play?
Yeah, I just answered this question on our Instagram the day I took over. I play Kirby, not because he's the best, but he is absolutely the most disrespectful player in the game. Just like losing to him, people hate it, and he just like has this cute like smile on his face, like so. I just absolutely love it.
No, Kirby's also just OP, Nerf Kirby. But yeah, yeah.
I do think I remember that when on the Instagram takeover. That's right. Now that you say that. That's awesome. Um, so Jay, do you want to ask this next question? I'll let you ask.
Yeah, of course. The strike season's been incredible so far. You guys have been doing great. I love watching the games. So what do you think is working well for the team? Like what do you think's going like been really impactful for the team?
I think what's been going really, really well is no one feels like they need to play outside of themselves in terms of the roster's so good. The coaches have done a phenomenal job of everybody has their role, everybody knows their role, and it's like just go out there, do your job, feel good that the team's winning, and like that's been incredible. I think it helps take some of the pressure off in these big moments, and compared to last year, it felt like it was a new experience for a lot of us. A lot of that pressure was on, and I think a lot of us took it internally of like, I got to make big shots, I got to make big plays happen. And this year, just it feels like it's just happening naturally.
So not to, I know this was like almost 2 weeks ago at this point, but with the game against New York and when it went into overtime, like how did the team adjust? I mean, being up with a pretty decent lead early on, and then eventually you find yourselves in overtime. How did what was like the team's mentality, and how did you guys um, adjust to basically take the win at the end?
Mm-hmm. So I will say, I think for the most part during that game, it never felt like any of us were losing our mentality. It felt like pretty even keel most of the time. I think at the end, it started to feel that like pressure. We got to go out there, not screw up, like make this play. We called a few different lines. For the most part, we had kept pretty an even 3-line rotation. Towards the end, we started to mix more people in, and just, I mean, when you have the defenders that we have, it doesn't feel as scary because you're like, they're probably going to go out there and make something happen as long as they're giving it 110%. So at least in my mind, I never was like, oh my gosh, we got to get this break. I was like, all right, when are we going to get this break?
Yeah, that's true. I guess just like the confidence and like you said, knowing your role, what
Mm-hmm.
when you step on the field, what are you gonna do and how are your teammates gonna support you in that? Definitely helps, I suppose.
Yeah.
So I want to know when you step onto the field, when you know your role, you are fast. You can get the disc when it's even just a little bit close to you. Like it doesn't even have to be that close to you. And you earn your nickname for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
What is your personal mindset? How do you view the field? What's going on in your mind as you're making those cuts, as you see the disc moving around the field? And like I guess what drives your success when you're out there?
Yeah, I mean, um I play best when I don't overcomplicate it. So as maybe airheaded as this might sound, I'm literally just thinking, run fast, run faster than this person. Like, oh, they're standing there, I'm gonna just like pass them. Or a lot of times when the disc goes up, the times I get it is I'm just like, I'm gonna get this disc. Like that's all that's going on in my head. Like I'm gonna get this. Like I already have it. Like just that confidence in my head. But I feel like you have to play that way. If I for 1 second stepped on the field and didn't think I'm going to get every disc that comes to me. I'm going to run faster than my opponents. Like I've already lost. So you have to have that level of like calm confidence of like, I'm the shit, but like, I also have to like make sure I don't screw up. So that's kind of that balance I find myself in.
Yeah, I mean, you really are a competitor. I mean, like you were talking about earlier, just sitting on the couch watching a show. You can choose to do that, or you can choose to go and be better. And yeah, it seems like you just really have a passion for being better and being the best athlete that you can be.
Thank you.
So not to say that any one player is the reason why the Strike, are undefeated thus far and doing great this season. But who do you think has made the biggest impact with the Strike so far into the season?
Yeah. I mean, I would be dumb if I didn't say Robin. Like, I mean, Robin just has changed our offense and made it really, really scary. Again, not that we didn't have players last year that weren't making it scary, but when you have the athletes that we have downfield and you have the thrower like Robin, it's very, very tough to stop. It's very tough to stop. And like our conversations are just, how can we make cleaner cuts so that these options are even more open next time? Like, so Robin's just been incredibly impactful. She's also just, I'm sure she gets a ton of credit for this, but her leadership and her energy that she also brings really brings this like, again, this like confident glue that's like, Robin believes in us, we believe in us. Like Robin thinks I can beat every opponent, so like I can beat every opponent. So she is just this very, you look up to her, you're happy she's on a teammate, she's making these impactful plays, and just is somebody you drop on a team and she's going to make an impact no matter where she goes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like I can't take credit for this thought. This was on the announcers who were talking about this during the game, but they had mentioned that Robin has kind of introduced, yeah, like you said, the confidence, even just to increase the hammers, right? Like just these kinds of throws that maybe wouldn't otherwise have been made. And you can kind of see that spilling out to the other handlers, and just like the disc movement is very confident. Again, everyone knows their roles, and it spreads to other players on the field, I think. So yeah, that's really cool to see it kind of just working everywhere on the field.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we have, oh, actually I want to talk just like quickly about Dragon Thrust, because you mentioned Dragon Thrust, and like that's a whole other team that we could have a whole podcast about. But like so like just quickly, so you've had like Dragon Thrust is pretty much a combination of the wind chill and the strike. And even like Carlos Lopez was the coach last year. Is he coaching again this year for the team?
Yeah, we weren't gonna let that one get away.
Yeah.
He is our head coach this year, and we couldn't be happier.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's just such a, even just the consistency, but the talent and the brains and the skills behind it all, like just drives the whole machine forward. That's so cool. Like, what do you think of the team this year, and how do you feel about having the head coach that you have and the team, like the roster that you will have, and playing with these incredibly talented athletes on a field in a different context than just the PUL?
Yeah, I mean, this year is going to be like, I can't even put into words how excited we had. Like over half the team was new last year, and we basically built this team of pretty new individuals, and just we went to semi. Of course we lose against 1 point to Robin's team, whatever, she did Robin stuff and played an absolutely incredible game. But this year we have almost no turnover of people that just like straight left. I think we started tryouts thinking like we have 3 spots. Our last tryout Sunday, but it's just like, this is a very, very competitive year. It has been, right now is the tough part of having to cut incredibly talented people. Everyone who showed up to tryouts so far has been so incredible, but you can't take everybody, and that's a tough thing as a leader. But once we get past that part. It's like we're gonna be so good. The sky's the limit. We set our goal high. We want to win a championship. We think if you say anything less than that, you're just doing yourself a disservice. So having Carlos back, like, I can't say enough good things about Carlos and what he does for teams, but I've met a lot of coaches in my life who are like, the way you come in is how you come in, and that's it. Carlos finds everybody, finds their strengths, finds their weaknesses, puts them in spots they can succeed, and also helps them learn new things and grow. He just sees everybody as someone who can still improve, no matter how old you are, no matter how long you're playing Ultimate, and just that idea that somebody like believes in you, believes you can get better, and just like it cheers you on more than anybody. Like, that's an incredible coach.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need in a coach to lead you through. So that's good to hear.
I'm hearing all of this Carlos guy. I gotta do Kane's line. We should get him on the pod.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carlos, if you're listening, we'll have to reach out to him and get him on.
Yeah, I'll make him listen. He'll listen to
yeah.
that clip I just said, and I'll be like, see, you should play me.
Yeah. There you go.
So we're gonna move to some questions that we got on our Instagram. We have put out a thing that said, ask you some questions. So the first one is, what do you like about playing in the mixed division and the women's division?
Okay. Let's see. Women's is so fun, because I think anytime you have the single gender, it is a lot easier to play team defense. It's in general, speeds are more consistent, so it does make throwing a lot easier. Like, if I see somebody going deep, I know if they're open, I'm gonna throw it, and nobody else is gonna like all of a sudden come out of nowhere. So like, that's also why I don't like mixed as sometimes. But it's also just in general, like I love female athletes. Like, I love playing with a group of other female athletes and just seeing them do baller stuff. For mixed, I think it's cool again to like play with people that normally you wouldn't play with. So getting the opportunity to play with the guys that are on Wind Chill is so fun. Like and these were players I had watched before I moved to Minneapolis, like Bevon, like and I'm like, oh cool, I get to like actually be this person's teammate. Like, that's a cool thing.
Yeah, that sounds, I don't know, it sounds pretty cool to play with some of these new guys, but also like, yeah, I get why you want to play in just the women's division as well. So the next question, this is from one of your teammates. Who are your favorite throwers to receive from, and why?
Okay. So I'll do strike specifically, because otherwise I'd probably just talk about Caleb. But I mean, obviously Robin can hit spots that are super great. I think I prefer, obviously I love someone who can just like punt it super far, but I particularly love somebody who responds well to turning the page, throwing into corners, especially corners of the end zone. So that's something Robin's really strong about. It's actually something Mex is also incredibly strong about. She makes those cuts herself, but like, she has that little like sharp IO flick that she'll just throw that right to that back corner. So being able to play with those creative types of throws is really fun.
That's a really good answer. Do you want to know who asked it, or do you have a guess?
Who asked?
It was Robin.
It was okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad I said her in there.
It's always fun to see who asks a question and then how does the person respond, and usually it matches up pretty well. So
it feels like a charged question then on her end. Who
it's always a test.
Most assists to?
Yeah. So another one we got, and this one was also from Robin. I'll just give you a spoiler. What is the best advice you've ever received about Ultimate?
Honestly, I this would have to have been from my partner just like 2 years ago, especially moving to a new city, and after COVID, I felt like I was in this position where I was playing to prove myself. Like, I need to make these big throws. I need to show my team what I can do, and like that way they play me. And it's just like that's a very, very selfish and really toxic trait towards yourself to get stuck in. And it's like you're not thinking about the team anymore, you're thinking about yourself, and when you're failing, it feels even worse. And so my partner was just like, stop trying to prove yourself, do what the team needs. And when you do that, you will find that you're succeeding, you take the pressure off yourself, and everything will fall into place. And honestly, since that happened, I just feel like I know my place now, I know my role, that like weight of pressure's off. I don't have to be the person that does anything crazy. If the moment comes up and I can do something like really cool, awesome. If not, I'm gonna make the right decision and just do exactly what the rest of my team needs. So that was like a huge turning point in advice, and just like that little switch of like not thinking about myself has helped me so more.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. It's like kind of backwards thinking in a way, but like it totally makes sense.
Hmm.
So then this next one kind of relates to that. Like, what is the part of your game that you are working on right now, if anything in particular?
Yeah, so again, coming from college, I was uh, ran deep and I threw deep. That's what like me and Lindsay McKenna did. So I always was able to throw it far, have big throws, but just my little throw, it's just very weird. I just didn't have, I still am not as strong with my finite skills as I could be. The biggest thing that Carlos has been helping with me a lot is like I have really long arms. There's no reason for me to throw so like tight to my body. So all off season, just like working on trying to throw out and like really use the length of my arms as much as I can. So that's been coming a long way. But yeah, I mean, all this week I leading up to the game, I'm just watching great throwers from all the PUL games, and I'm like, wow, look at those pivots, look at the way they're like doing this. Like, so I mean, you're always learning. Like, if you think you've stopped learning, you've like shot yourself in the foot. Like, there's always more to learn, always people to learn from. So, but yeah, those types of around throws are my biggest weakness right now.
That's a great way of, I don't know, it's a good thing to always be like focusing on is like your biggest weakness.
Mhm.
You know, just always trying to like make that, you know, you have your weak spots, but even if your weak spots are strong, then you're just a better player all around.
Mhm.
Um, so this is the last Instagram question we have. What's the favorite team and the favorite player that you've played with?
Oh. I wanna say Westchester again. Like I love playing with especially Liz Hart is, gosh, I love playing with her. I'm bummed we never really got to play club together. Would love to play with her again. Um yeah, I'm gonna say Liz Hart, but I love her.
Yeah, I mean, is she playing in PUL?
Yeah, so she plays on Surge and
Okay.
been on Amp now for a little
Okay.
bit. Big contributor for their O line.
We'll definitely have to watch some highlights of her. Maybe we'll get her on the pod too.
Oh, there's plenty of Liz Hart highlights. She just like is another level of athleticism sometimes.
Nice. Okay, I think we're just gonna close it out. We have like, I don't know, six or seven just like rapid fire questions. So Jay, I'll let you fire these off. Just to get to know you a little bit better.
All right, so it's just the first answer that comes to your head. All right. What's your favorite show?
Oh, oh my God. Why am I blanking? I want to say Twin Peaks. I also want to say Arrested Development, but I don't want to like I always say that.
Um, do you prefer Applebee's or Chili's?
Oh, neither.
That's a
Oh.
very valid answer.
Ooh.
Um, do you have any pets?
No, not currently, but I do miss my Rip dog Chocolate, my childhood dog. Love him every day. I was very small when I named him, so don't judge me.
No judgments.
Um,
I feel like dogs with food names are just like the best dogs ever.
Superior dog.
Yeah.
What is your favorite jersey?
The ones I designed for Dragon this year. So get ready to look at those. I made them. I love them. They're the same blue as my nails. So
Oh, that's
not
awesome.
biased. I asked people, they wanted that color.
I'm excited to
Did,
see them.
I did not know you designed the jerseys.
Oh, I just did it this year. Had the inspiration. I do not take credit for any of the other jerseys every other year. Don't put my name on those.
Got it. Who did them the previous years then?
Bevon did those. I do like last year's jerseys. Those
Yeah,
were good.
cool. I can't wait to see them now.
Yeah.
Have they been released? Are there pictures of them or?
Nope, you gotta wait just like everybody else.
Dang. What is your go-to comfort food?
Oh, waffles, frozen waffles. Definitely frozen waffles. Yeah.
That's a very good choice. What is your favorite throw to receive?
Ooh, anything deep and in the end zone.
All right. And what's your favorite throw to throw?
IO backhand. Like a big
Alright.
one, just huge.
Yep.
Nice. And then last one, what's your favorite board game?
Ooh, Villainous. Disney Villainous. If you haven't played,
It's a great game.
it's so good.
Is that a card game?
Kind of.
It's a deck building game, sort of.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like a good deck building game.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, Jay, do you have any other questions? I think that's all the ones on our list, but this has been really great. It's been fun to get to know you and talk Ultimate with you.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you so much for having me on. It was great to meet you both.
Yeah, and we wanna plug for our audience, our listeners and viewers that the Strike have their last home game of the season this Saturday, May 20th. And they're doing a big double header game with the Wind Chill following. The Wind Chill are playing after the Strike. So definitely want to encourage everyone to come out, support both teams, follow the Strike and the Wind Chill on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. And just want to thank everyone for listening, for following us along. Want to thank the R1P1 network. They've been doing our graphics and social media and stuff for us. So big shout out to them. And yeah, I just want to again say thank you to Danielle Byers for being on tonight. And don't forget everyone to stay chilly.